Live from KSAT12, the news at noon starts right now.
One apparent hoax had the East Central High School on lockdown this morning. The school district and sheriff's office saying no one is injured, everyone is accounted for. All this after the East Central ISD police reported to a possible shooting. They say there appears to be no real threat.
But those calls still resulted in panicked parents who flocked to the high school campus. Garrett Berger is live there now. Garrett, how are parents reacting to the idea this was a hoax?
Well, as you can imagine, they are still very anxious, and they are here in numbers. You can see a line behind me of parents waiting outside the South Campus building at this high school. It's a pretty big campus, waiting for the reunification process. The district saying that parents can come and get their children, many of them choosing to do so. We spoke earlier with both the Bexar County Sheriff and the superintendent of the district. What we know is that district police received a call this morning with a mention of a student's name. Then there was what sounded like gunfire. Law enforcement responded to the high school campus, clearing the entire campus, but found no evidence of a shooting. But in that original swirl of rumors and uncertainty, parents feared the worst.
Emotions, I'm scared. My oldest daughter's in college. And she's the one that called me to let me know what was going on because one of the girls in the classroom, her mom works here at the school.
Now, the sheriff says the student who was named in the call has been detained, but they were not on campus today. They're trying to figure out if they were the one who was called or if perhaps they were a victim of a swatting hoax. Now, neither the superintendent or sheriff are able to tell us really whether the original call had mentioned a direct threat that it was happening or that it could happen. So we don't know the specifics of that, but the sheriff's office says at this point, this does appear to be simply a hoax. Of course, it's not simply. It caused so many parents to fear for their children's safety. They've all flocked to the campus. You can see the cars are parked around the campus as there's simply not many places for people to park as they're all lining up waiting for their kids. So if you do have a student here, just know that if you haven't already made your way, it will likely be some time before you're able to get them out as they are going through that reunification process. The line's kind of dragging slowly. But at this point, the district does not know if they will resume classes later today or not. Live on the in Far East Bexar County, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT12 News.
Thank you, Garrett. A lot of us were hoping for rain overnight. Some of us got it. Is that the right way to put it?
Were you one of the lucky ones?
My horses were covered in mud this morning, so yes.
That means you got rain. All right, yeah, the rain really has been confined to the hill country the last about 12, 13 hours or so. And you can see that we're still seeing a few of those storms up in parts of the hill country, mainly out toward Edwards County right now. You can see a few thunderstorms pushing through Rock Springs nearer to Lakey and areas along that Edwards Plateau, going to continue to see some isolated showers and storms. It's been dry here in San Antonio, but at least we have been able to see a little bit of cloud cover. You can see that clouds have started to clear around San Antonio, but where it's staying cloudy, temperatures are in the 70s in Kerrville, but it's 96 in sunny Rock Springs. So as we look ahead to the rest of your forecast, know that there is going to be another window for rain. We just have to wait until after 5 p.m. Scattered showers and storms possible after 5 p.m. More on that timeline coming up in a bit. For now, let's check in with traffic.
Well, as September is winding down, more road work is expected to ramp back up. Let's get you in the know before you have to go. State Highway 16, Bandera Road, we have curb and sidewalk construction. A lot of that takes place out there, but just keep this in mind. This will ramp up back again on September 25th and take us all the way to the end of the work week, September 29th. The work starts at 9 in the morning each day and should finish at 3 in the afternoon. We'll see alternating lane closures in both directions. That's from Loop 1604 to Circle A. Let's take that drive over here to FM 1535. We know it as Northwest Military Highway. Again, curb and sidewalk construction also happening there Monday, September 25th through the end of the work week, Friday, September 29th. This work starts a little bit earlier, 7 in the morning to 6 in the evening. We'll see alternating lane closures in both directions from Loop 1604 to Huebner Road. And I have another one here for you. Wurzbach Parkway, roadway construction according to TxDOT. Now, this one actually begins on Sunday, October 1st. And yeah, we're talking October already and takes us all the way to Halloween. That's Tuesday, October October 31st. 9 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, alternating lane closures in both directions from Northwest Military Highway to Weidner Road. So just know what to expect for October. And if you scan this QR code, you are taken directly to our KSAT traffic page. There's a full list of closures for what's happening throughout the rest of September and into the early days of October. So plan your commute ahead of time.
A 16-year veteran with the San Antonio Police Department is sitting out from the job, suspended without pay after a traffic crash over the weekend. The 16-year veteran with the San Antonio Police Department, again, he is sitting out on the job. The officer, Eric Duffin, was arrested on the scene, charged with suspicion of driving while intoxicated. His car was the only vehicle that crashed in the 1700 block of Evans Road. For that suspicion of driving while intoxicated, officers responded to the location, and he was assigned to the North Patrol and was immediately suspended while both a criminal and administrative investigation is conducted.
Well, we now know one person dealing with serious burns after investigators tell us a commercial dryer exploded and caught fire this morning. So take a look. This all happened just after 7:30 at Craft Professional Cleaners on Josephine Street. That's near North St. Mary's. San Antonio Fire Department on the scene telling us one of those dryers exploded. Damage to the business was minimal, but as we told you, one person was burned. Now, damage estimates to the building still unknown, and we are still waiting to learn the latest condition of the person who was injured.
San Antonio Crime Stoppers asking for some help regarding a murder from 2009. According to SAPD, 31-year-old Evaristo Sierra was found suffering from a gunshot wound at his home, or a home, on Maverick Bluff. The incident happening September 24th, 2009. Police say that witnesses saw several men drive off speeding in a gold-colored vehicle where those shots came from. The vehicle and the men have never been found. If you have any information about this homicide, you can call Crime Stoppers at 210-224-STOP. Still no budget in Washington, so plans are being made should Congress not reach an agreement. Federal departments and agencies in Washington preparing for the worst. They're starting the process of shutting down non-essential functions.
John Lawrence shows us how even if you don't work for the government, you still could feel the effects of this pending government shutdown.
Congress has until Saturday to make a deal to keep the government funded, but members from both parties aren't feeling optimistic.
If we have a government shutdown, which I'm sad to say at this point looks likely, it will be because there are a couple dozen Republican members at least who want a government shutdown.
GOP Rep. Tim Burchett of Tennessee is among those holding his ground.
The American public knows what we're up to, and they're sick and tired of it. That's why folks like me, we're sticking to our guns, and all of a sudden we're the bad guys because we want to balance our budget.
Should the shutdown occur, nearly 4 million federal employees will be affected immediately, including the non-essential workers being furloughed until the shutdown is over. It would also have a snowball effect across the U.S., including the Bureau of Labor Statistics not releasing financial data, which would make it hard for the Federal Reserve and investors to figure out the economy. And the White House says travel will be affected as well by air traffic controllers and TSA workers not getting paid to work. While there are discussions about how to keep things running,
let's pass a 30 to 60-day continuing resolution. Let's make sure it's not loaded up.
It appears to be an uphill battle.
You can't keep spending $7 trillion when you're only taking in $5 trillion. That just doesn't work.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Still ahead, we are breaking down the Cowboys and Texans games this weekend, what they did and didn't do that led one team to a win and the other to an embarrassing defeat.
I wrote embarrassing defeat.
You put that in there.
I put that in there. It was embarrassing. Plus, how local students are learning to become their own content creators. That's after the break. Welcome back. After weeks of learning about directing, producing, and acting, local students, they're bringing their films to the community.
Tiffany Huerta shows us how the Media Arts program is encouraging curiosity and imagination.
So much hostility and so much chaos going on outside of the window.
Jaira White can't help but smile when describing the film Spilled Coffee.
It just ends in this great finale.
White's film will be shown at this historic center at the heart of the east side of San Antonio.
I did everything. I produced, I directed, I edited, script, I did it all.
And he learned from film industry professionals.
My experience was the best thing I could have ever asked for.
White is one of the students part of the Eastside Youth Content Creators Program. The free 8-week program is a partnership between Alamo City Studios and the city of San Antonio.
For the full 8 weeks, they got the full run of what it would be to make a movie from beginning to end.
Local students will showcase 10 short films here at the Carver Community Cultural Center, from drama, comedy to horror.
Instructor D. Wayne Goodlow says the program has provided different opportunities for high school students.
We had a bunch of students go through last year that actually benefited hugely. They were able to pick up a couple of internships. A number of their films got entered to film festivals.
This year's showcase will take place on Wednesday at 6 p.m. and it's free to attend. White hopes his film connects with audiences and has big dreams.
I would love to keep script writing and keep film writing, but my true ultimate passion is to act and be on stage and be in movies.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT12 News.
All right, taking a live look out at the Alamo City. All right, what does that even say? I can't even see that. But it's 89 degrees?
89. It is, but that's not the big story today.
What's the big story, Ursula?
Sarah says it's probably.
There's a window for rain. Okay, I'm going to stop.
That's right. We had
There's
to
a window.
We can only say a window or an opportunity. We can't say probably.
Because not everybody is going to get rain today, and I know how desperate we are for rainfall. All right, as you look at the aquifer is down 0.4 foot over the past 24 hours, and in the pollen count, molds are high. Here's that window for rain that I'm talking about. From 5 p.m. till about 10 p.m., a 40% chance for showers and storms. I'll have those details for you coming up in just a bit.
All right, Max. You ever use the word y'all?
Actually, I was with friends and family this weekend. I couldn't stop saying y'all, and they're like, "Oh, wow, you're fully indoctrinated in Texas." Yes, and it's an honor.
Okay, well, it's officially fall, y'all.
So we know SA Live. That was good. I was like, where are you going to go with this? We know SA Live all about the food. So Fiona, what's the question of the day?
Well, I'll tell you, y'all, okay, it might not feel like it, but we are trying to bring those cool fall vibes. So we want to know, what is your favorite fall comfort food?
Ursula, you want to start us off?
I like butternut squash soup.
Oh my gosh, mine's exactly the same, Ursula.
No way.
Yes.
Wow. See, I'm going to go with pumpkin pie.
He's going to go out on his own island.
It's a cousin.
Yeah. I mean, sure, we'll say that. I mean, but I think pumpkin pie is perfect because, like, what other time of the year are you eating pumpkin pie?
It's true. It's true. And
no judgment, Max. Yeah. No judgment.
I don't see a little judge on my own island here with my own pumpkin pie. I felt a little judge.
On your island.
You're outvoted.
So scan
You're off
that
the
QR
island.
code and let us know. Thanks, guys.
I know Sarah's favorite.
What's Sarah's favorite?
Rain.
Okay.
Yeah, is that, you know what? Comfort, I guess?
Rain is my favorite. And you know what? We just have not been lucky in San Antonio the last couple of times, have we? In fact, yesterday we reached 101 degrees. That was our 75th 100-degree day of the year so far, the most 100-degree days on record. And September 24th actually comes close to the latest triple-digit day on record of September 28th. Now, here's the good news. That heat high has moved off to the west, and in its wake we're actually seeing a front move through Texas. That's why areas across the hill country saw some decent rain in the overnight hours, and this front is going to stall out throughout the day today, allowing for another opportunity for us to see rain. What's one thing you notice about the rain? It's in clusters. There are those that miss out on the rain and those that get rain. We'll have another opportunity between about 5 and 10 p.m. First First, I want to show you where the rain is right now. It's actually up across parts of the hill country, so closer to areas closer to Edwards County, nearer to Rock Springs right now, seeing some thunder, seeing some lightning from Sonora to Rock Springs. There could be some small hail in there, but these storms are weakening as they move closer to the south. And we're also seeing some storms in Maverick County, just to the east there of Eagle Pass, and some storms nearer to Bay City and Victoria. One thing I want to do is show you how much beneficial rain has fallen across parts of the hill country just within the last 24 hours or so. You can see that there have been parts of Gillespie County and parts of Kerr County that have seen in some cases about 6 inches of rain. Now that's really isolated to the northwestern section of Gillespie County. Fredericksburg itself, about 1 inch of rain. Decent rainfall numbers there near Mountain Home as well in Kerr County, about 4 inches of rain. Now here in San Antonio, it's been pretty dry. Around San Antonio, only a couple of hundredths of an inch of rainfall if you got rain. There are those counties, those communities though, in Bexar County, near to Leon Springs, Scenic Oaks, Fair Oaks Ranch. These areas have seen some decent rain, up to about 1 inch of radar estimated rain, mainly from a storm last night. Still, impressive numbers up to the north and to the west, right along that Edwards Aquifer recharge zone, but it has been pretty bone dry around San Antonio. We're going to hold out hope for a little bit more rain between the hours of 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. Keep your fingers crossed if you want showers and storms. Otherwise, it's going to be toasty, 96 for the high. Again, chance for rain is about 40%. So there will be those of us that miss out on the rain completely, unfortunately. By about 10 p.m., that chance of rain starts to dissipate around San Antonio, and overnight it should be fairly quiet with temperatures in the 70s. Just a reminder that any storms that develop will have the potential to have gusty winds and maybe some quarter-sized hail. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that. Otherwise, take a look at the forecast in the coming days. Highs in the low 90s, that's an improvement from highs in the triple digits in my book. Just wish we could get a little bit more rain out of this forecast.
Yeah, if we have this much humidity, we should get a little rain.
Exactly.
All right, thank you, Sarah.
Coming up in sports, how the Texans were able to hold off the Jaguars for their first win of the season.
And what goes up must come down. Cowboys suffering their loss of the season. What Coach McCarthy had to say after the game.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
Welcome back. If you're a Cowboys fan, shield your eyes, because after 2 dominant wins to kick off the brand new season, the Dallas Cowboys went down to the Grand Canyon State hosting the 0-2 Arizona Cardinals, and it was not pretty on game day. So the Cards went up 3-0, and they didn't stop from there. Look at this. This was Rondale Moore out of the backfield, handoff, and it was good. So the Cowboys, they tried to catch up. Dak in the pocket, running around in the red zone, and could not get anything going. 16-21 here, and Josh Dobbs, who really wasn't even on an NFL team, he gets it going against this, yes, I will give you, the injured Cowboys defense. A defense that couldn't stop. And speaking of not stopping, they couldn't stop missing in that red zone. Look at that. So before this day, one of Dak's problems last season, picks. Well, this is his first pick of the season, and Cowboys would go on to lose. That is your final 28-16. This puts the Cowboys at 2-1. And of course, head coach and play caller, Mike McCarthy.
Just, honest and real. And I addressed the game, what my thoughts on the game and the reality of where we are. We're 2-1. Yeah, we're going to fully expect to win every week. So, this, obviously we're disappointed. We're disappointed that we're leaving here without a win. But this is part of the journey.
Yeah, we've got to do better. Just as a team, as a unit, myself, got to make some throws, maybe use my feet more. Obviously, that's an area that we haven't been good in these last 2 weeks, and even with the win last week, that was the sore spot in the win. And obviously, look at this loss, move the ball up and down the field and just couldn't score, and so that's your reason for this loss. And so we've all got to get back to the drawing board.
I do like Dak, for what it's worth, and I thought that was a pretty good soundbite. All right, the Cowboys hosting the Patriots on Sunday, 3:25. At home, AT&T Stadium. How about the winners of the weekend, though? The Houston Texans entered the day as the #1 team with injuries. Not a stat you want. horrible knowledge going into the game at Jacksonville. The Jags, who won the division last year, the Texans get on the board first, making this their first lead any game this season. Second quarter, Will Anderson Jr., one of their first-round picks this year, blocked the field goal attempt. Houston eventually ends up with the ball after the scramble. 7 plays later, the Rook, my first overall pick, but not the first overall pick, C.J. Stroud connected with Brevin Jordan, 4-yard touchdown. Texans led the Jags going into the second half, and they kept the lead throughout the game. And guess what? They finished super strong. They got the win, first win of the season. Texans, 37 points. Your Jacksonville Jaguars, only 17. And far from done, we're only 3 games into the season. Texans hosting the Steelers at noon on Sunday, NRG Stadium, back at home. This will also be the special game for a lot of fans out there, including myself, big J.J. Watt fan. He gets inducted into the Texans Ring of Honor.
Still ahead in our next half hour, how much money UT Health is getting for long COVID research and treatment.
Plus, why tomorrow will mark a historic day for the country when it comes to workers striking. We're going to explain after the break.